stage, silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve, because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
All right, friends, this is Brother T at WSGI, and I want to tell you that the Mark Trammell Quartet is coming back to Ebenezer Baptist Church on Thursday night, July the 2nd at 7 o'clock p.m. Mark Trammell Quartet, one of the best in the business, and we're so excited that we get to host them once more at Ebenezer in Greenbrier. Bring the kids, bring the grandkids, because everyone under the age of 18 will be admitted free. We will suggest a $10 donation at the door for everyone else, and we will take a love offering for the Mark Trammell Quartet. On Thursday night, July the 2nd at 7 o'clock p.m., Mark Trammell Quartet, Ebenezer Baptist Church in Greenbrier. Come on out and be with us. I'll see you there.
One street over there's a life.
All right. Good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with One Street Over, filling in for U-Turn Laverne. And I'm so glad that you all have joined us. I'm also so glad that this man has joined us, Michael Crawley from the Springfield Capitol Theater. Super excited. I had posted that we were going to be interviewing you, and I got lots of questions and lots of comments. So I was really happy that the community engaged so much in the last 24 hours. So welcome. All right. For those of you listening on the radio, you can go to Facebook or YouTube and share the show. I just shared the show from Laverne, U-Turn Laverne's page on my Facebook page. My page is just Lee Marie, 2 words. And but before we get any further, we want to go to the Lord in prayer. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Please fill our minds with peace, our hearts with courage, and our words with kindness. Please guide our decisions, strengthen us through our challenges, and help us walk with wisdom and grace. Let us be a source of encouragement and blessing to others. Thank you for your angels of protection over us, our homes, and our loved ones. Thank you for opening doors that are meant for us and for giving us patience for the things that are still unfolding. We cancel all of the enemy's assignments on us. No evil formed against us shall prosper. May we not be ruled by fear, distraction, or frustration, but by faith, clarity, and purpose to align with your perfect will. Remind us that your mercy is new every morning and that you are with us. Please bless this day with favor, productivity, your joy, and peace that passes all understanding. Please take this show where you want it to go, in the mighty and matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus. Amen. Yeah. All right. Michael Crawley is in the house, the man of the hour. One of the comments that came up quite a bit, and I'm going to tell you right now, and that's people were saying thank you. You know, my husband, Stephen, said, make sure you thank him and his family for this great sacrifice and for just investing in our community, because it's not a small endeavor at all. And so there's a lot of people that had shot in, thank you messages. I had posted this on some of the HIP sites and such, but I also had texted some of my friends and just said, hey, this is what I'm doing, send comments. So you can still add stuff in the show comment section if you'd like. I'm sure we can't address all of them because I brought a little book here of, like about 30 of them. But anyways, one thing that I think was probably one of the more common things that just people wanted some general information, like how do we look up the movies, times, and how often do the movies change? What are the prices? How do you determine what movie is picked? So do you want to just go over some general stuff like that first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me on the show, and I do apologize to U-Turn, as she always reaches out to me, and I never seem to make her schedule, and you seem to always get me, but that's just how it works out sometimes. And I appreciate the opportunity just to give out some of the general answers to questions that we've received on our personal page and my private page. So it's a great platform for us to get all those answers out. We take for granted that people, understand what we're doing, and really it's a complicated business. So this is a great platform and a great opportunity. So thank you.
My pleasure. I'm so glad that you were able to, because, this is just information everybody needs and they're so curious. So it was just perfect timing. And today's a good day because actually today's Wednesday. So if you're hearing my voice right now and you're used to hearing me at 8 o'clock, don't worry, you did not oversleep. My show is every Wednesday, the Go Show from 8 to 9, which I will be doing today right after this. So make sure you stay tuned. But yes, if you're waking up now, don't worry. It's only, 10 after 7. It's not 10 after 8. But yes, I'm so glad that it just worked out with your schedule. All right. So let's go ahead and hear about the specifics that people want to know first.
Sure. Well, I would say address the best place to get showtimes and ticket pricing would be on the website, which is www.springfieldmovies.com. Our showtimes will adjust from day to day, week to week. So it's not a set standard. The showtimes, the previews, those all are going to be slightly different based upon the show that we're showing. And, excuse me, and the amount of shows we show each daily will change based upon demand. So we've already made some tweaks and adjustments to the schedule. So the best place will always be the website to get that information.
All right. And give that website one more time.
It's springfieldmovies.com.
Okay. Springfieldmovies.com. That's a great site, boy.
Yeah, we were surprised it was still available.
I know, because there's so many different Springfield.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I do posts and I forget to put Tennessee, and people go, "I want to take that class," and then they're in Missouri or something. So that's cool that you got that.
Yeah, and sometimes right now we're working on this with the designer. The link on a social site will come up a little weird on a picture. It says like domainsforsale.com. Don't worry about that. They're going to fix that. It's just a little little tweak there.
I did see that. I'm going to put this a little bit closer to your mic.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay, so springfieldmovies.com, guys, is where you can find all of the listings. And I know that, if you have any problems getting tickets online, you can always go to the box office, right? I mean, what time is the box office open?
We have it listed at about 45 minutes before each show. The box office will be open.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of questions. Let's address that question. If you purchase at the box office, there's no fee. There is a convenience fee tacked on to the website. Some of that goes to the different departments, and some of that's out of our control. So the best place for the lowest price would always be at the box office.
Okay.
We encourage people to do it online if they can afford the fee, just for convenience and lines, and just get people through the lobby. The lobby is extremely small, and we have really crammed a lot into it.
Your lobby is beautiful.
Well, thank you. But we have crammed a lot, and we tried to make it a very smooth process, but it's still a 100-year-old building with a tight lobby. So, we understand people, are budget conscious, and that fee's a big deal. And most of that money goes elsewhere. But you can always purchase in the lobby at the self-order kiosk, which is going to be the best way to purchase at the box office. Early on, there was some confusion about, hey, can we do box office in cash? And some people thought that we said no. You most definitely can buy at the box office with cash. The issue becomes the line. So we run into, maybe 30 minutes and forward towards the show. The line gets pretty long. So then you're waiting in line with cash, and it just becomes challenging. And, we just want to avoid, those long wait times.
Okay, but then also they don't have, they can, like, for instance, my family wanted to go tomorrow, and they went online and they were having difficulty. So actually, one of my family members went yesterday and got them. So you don't have to do 45 minutes before that particular show. You can go anytime the box office is open and buy a ticket for any future show.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So, again, you can walk in the lobby, the self-order kiosk are there. You can pick the date and showtime and the movie. So today you could go in and order tickets for the Minions for the next 2 weeks.
Okay. And Minions starts Friday, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So this Thursday is your last opportunity to see Toy Story 5 right here in Springfield. Right?
And to address I've had several people bring up complaints or issues with the website. We're working through those. We're pretty small. Outfit, and there's always challenges that we're trying to tweak and fix. I believe one of the issues were some people's credit cards are declining, and it was the way that they were inputting their address. I think it was they were putting like 3RD instead of third, spelling it out. I believe is one of the challenges.
Interesting. Okay,
and
good
some
to
of
know.
that's website, and some of those are the credit card processor. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. but we're definitely working through those.
Okay, very good. That's good to know. Yeah, because I kind of panicked when my family was trying to get the tickets and they go, "We can't get them." I'm like, "Oh no, it's sold out." So that's why she ran down there and she's like, "No problem."
And some of it might be operator error.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So you just never know.
Very true. All right. So again, this is Lee Marie in for U-Turn Laverne on One Street Over. This is a show that happens every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm sure we have some new people tuning in because some of the people that I was seeing leaving comments about this interview, I'd never seen those names before. And so I'm like, well, this is exciting because we're kind of building this whole community, right? So yes, we have Michael Crawley here from the Springfield Capitol Theater, which is just so beautiful, and I absolutely love driving by it, daytime and nighttime. It's just gorgeous, and it's right here in our beautiful downtown Springfield on Main Street, and we're just so happy that you have breathed new life into our city. All right, so we talked about the specifics on how to get the tickets. How often is it going to be changing how do you determine when it changes and how it changes to what?
Yeah, so that's probably the most asked question on our social pages and to me personally. And that's going to be a variation. There's no set answer. We opened with Toy Story 5, as everyone knows, and that was at the advice of our movie booker. So we have a booker that is a liaison between ourselves and the studios. So they have hundreds or thousands of cinemas across the nation that they negotiate and they work through all the particulars directly with the studios. So their advice and their data was, Toy Story 5 would be a great opener. When you get into negotiations with, say, Disney or Pixar for those types of movies, they're very restrictive and rigid. So, and this isn't for us, this is nationwide. Everyone that's having these types of facilities or multiplexes are all dealing with the same scheduling issues. So we are locked in for a movie like Disney for 14 days. So all Disney movies are 14 days. And
is that a 14-day minimum or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they would love us to have it for longer.
Okay.
But there is a minimum, and that is very restrictive on the hours. So they consider certain hours from morning to basically midnight as their territory. And, it's just where we're at. We're working through some ideas and some thoughts and bouncing some suggestions over to the movie booker to see if there's some flexibility with that. Mm-hmm. But currently, we're locked into those types of contracts.
Okay.
So going forward, we would like to show a more variety of movies, and we will. But we also got to think about what's going to sell at the box office. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of comments and murmuring about, hey, we'd like to have more of an adult film or different types of film. Well, last week, Toy Story 5 brought in $190 million gross for 1 week. The next closest movie was $17 million. So, the money is...
And this is over the whole world. This is in Springfield.
Yeah. If it was
people go, whoa.
If it was 170 in Springfield, I would not be here right now.
Right. Just want to clarify that,
Yeah.
Some people,
Thanks for that clarification. No, so, we definitely want to bring variety, and we will bring variety, but we are trying to bring the best possible movie for the city with the best possible economics for ourselves and for downtown. Mm-hmm. That was something that we've been very clear on. We want to bring foot traffic to downtown. That's one of the reasons we did not feel like a music/entertainment venue would be the right fit for the city, just because you run into those aren't going to bring traffic day in, day out and fill the auditoriums in the streets of Springfield. So we felt like this was the best possible way to do it. So we're trying to manage and bring all of those feet and all those eyeballs to the city.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, since you touched on that, that is another one of the questions that I was seeing, and that was, will you consider doing some live events, some music artists or some plays? And then some people asked too, will you ever allow like buyouts where they can come in and show their own movie?
Those are things that are under consideration.
Okay.
I would ask for patience.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that are kind of impatient. That's okay. But we're a week in and trying to figure out the business model. Mm-hmm. We are approached daily I mean, multiple times a day. Can we show this? Can we do this? I had a local filmmaker yesterday stop by and see me, and we would like to work out something with him and others, but we don't know what that looks like today. I told him, give us a couple weeks, let us get through all of our contracts, let us, let the film industry understand our business model, and then hopefully we can come back and start working on what that cost structure would look like and how we would make that profitable for us and a good event for that independent artist.
Okay. All right. So be patient, y'all. Another common question was people wanting to see retro movies or classics, White Christmas, different things like that. Are some of those on the burner there? Just kind of wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. So, early on, some of the comments opening week, we had put out a poll on trying to figure out what retro or classic movies people would want to see. And, I think a lot of people were surprised when we opened up with Toy Story 5. They thought we would open up with some of those. And the plan was to open up with retros and classics for a week or 4 or 5 days. But construction fell behind and things happened. So then we fell into our contract for Toy Story 5. So going forward, there will be some gaps that we'll plan to show retros, classics. And we identify anything as a retro as non-first run.
Oh, okay.
So a new release, is a new release. Everything, older than 6 months is a retro.
Okay.
That's just how we identify it.
Okay.
So yeah, we most definitely will. I'm working on a deal currently to try to do a retro, potentially Friday night late. It's
This coming Friday night? Oh, after
correct,
possibly after the.
Yeah, I put a poll out just to see if there'd be interest. And we're trying to gauge interest in things because it's got to be profitable. We got to get attendance up.
Right.
So if I can get Disney Pixar to allow it, because it's kind of after their standard hours, so they might. Then I got to convince the studio that carries the movie we want to play to give it to us, which isn't ever a guarantee. Then we got to work out the pricing structure. Then we can, we get the rights to it. And once we decide we want to get the rights to it, we pay that fee minimum no matter what, whether one person shows up or
Oh, wow.
100. But once 100 shows up, we're paying, or 50 or whatever the number is, we're paying roughly 65% of the ticket cost goes to that studio.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot to it. It's not just a willy-nilly decision.
Now, I heard, because that's July 3rd, I heard a lot of, well, not a lot, but I heard that the young George Washington is playing on several places on July 3rd. Is that one of the ones being considered, or you can't tell? Is it a secret?
I really can't tell because, I mean, those are, it's not that I don't want to tell you, but negotiations and it's I don't want to give false hope to any certain movie.
Okay.
And we've been asked about that one several times. But again, they have to allow us to play that for a small period of time. And generally the answer from the studios is no.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you have to commit.
Have a whole
Correct.
block.
You have to commit to blocks. And that's just really hard to do.
Yeah.
How many people want to come see any particular retro movie or non-box office movie? It seems like dozens of people are interested in a movie. Well, dozens of people, unfortunately, are coming up short of paying the bills.
Right. Well, and I know that one of the comments was when they were talking about retro movies, they said, aren't there some movies that he can just play for free without getting permission? Are there like some, like in music, how there's some stuff that like, okay, it's public domain. Are there some movies like that you have access to, or do you have to pretty much get permission?
Yeah, I don't know of any movies that are public domain. All these movies, all these shows are owned by a parent company, whether that's a very large company or very small company. And, they make their money by these booking fees and cost share contracts. So they're not too apt to give us anything for free.
Okay.
So I'm not aware of those. Maybe they're out there. But yeah, if someone runs across a great movie that we could book out and it's free, send it our way.
Okay. And then someone wanted to know if you have thought, actually a few people asked, have you thought about doing like the family ones and the daytime matinee and then maybe a grown-up one at night and have two movies kind of, the same week? Is that, or do you really have to just have like one movie?
Well, so it's going to depend on what week. So if we're doing a retro week, then we have a lot of flexibility on that. So we can move the shows around as we need to because we're not under contract for a new release. But then there's challenges there. So as I said before, if we want to have 3 showings a day, maybe a young children's movie, a teenage type, and an adult type, those are individual booking fees that we have to pay, plus the proportion of royalties that they would get. So I'm making this up because every studio is going to be different depending on the movie, but we may have $1,000 minimum for Top Gun Maverick or for whatever the movie is. So we have to pay that minimum guarantee plus the offset.
All right, hear that, Joe Friday? He just said Top Gun.
Yeah. And so we actually did a friends and family booking on Thursday, the day before we opened, and we did Top Gun Maverick, and it was great. And it was some friends and family and a few guests just as a trial run. But we still had to pay for that, even though we didn't sell tickets.
Oh, okay.
So it's all of these things that people are wanting are possible, but they're complicated.
Okay, very good. A couple other things. Someone was there and they saw Toy Story and they said the theater was beautiful. They had a great experience. But some of the previews that were being shown, they said, well, that's a demonic movie. Does the family have, a way to pick and choose what previews, or is it just one package and you have to play it all? Because she said, I did not appreciate that. I was like, well, let me find out.
Yeah. So, I was unaware of that situation till even you told me right before the show. So that's something we can look at. As far as I'm aware, the previews are just, we kind of load them. We've been working with the previews already. When we opened up last Friday, we didn't have enough previews in the stack. So, just learning curves. We've learned that people like to watch the previews, and we learned how important the previews are to get people through the concession line. So we were showing about 7 minutes of previews, and it wasn't long enough. So I would say maybe Monday or Tuesday, we were able to load up and do about 15 minutes of previews and adjust our show times accordingly. So we can look at the preview selection, something that...
Okay, so it's not just one package. Yeah, okay, well, that's great to know. That'll make her feel very good.
Well, and some of those, everyone's opinions are going to be slightly different. And that's one thing that people need to be understanding and patient with one another. What you or I think is appropriate is different than someone else. So those are things that, we need to consider. But yeah, we definitely want to be careful on what we show with, those types of things.
Okay. And someone wants to know if you're going to be doing Angel Studio movies.
It's a little embarrassing. I'm actually not a movie buff. We jumped into the movies, as everyone knows, with the announcement of the drive-in a few years ago. That I've probably been to the movies maybe 5 times in the last 10, 15 years. So I'm not even familiar with the studios. This is something that we can look into. And we're open to suggestions and comments, and we love the interaction on our Facebook page. So if there's a suggested movie that we think would work from a certain studio, I'll look into it, shoot us a message, make a comment, and we'll try to see if we can work it out.
Okay. And those of you that maybe aren't familiar with Angel Studios, it's not just angel movies like movies about angels. It's Chosen and some of those, that are more faith-based.
Yeah. And I think everyone knows that I claim to be, I'm a Christian. I don't claim to be. I'm a Christian, and those things are important to us. But we're just trying to strike a balance of all those things to give the community what they need, and we'll support and keep our morals where they are as well.
Yeah, that was another question that they had. They said, how do you balance that if something is, kind of, glorifying the other kingdom instead of God's kingdom, it must take a lot of research on your...
Well, those things are really tricky. Anytime you're running a business, you have to be, I don't want to say it's a two-face, but you got to be conscious of your market, what's going to be successful, and you don't ever want to overstep whatever your morals are. And I think that's always a tough balance to strike, especially when you're dealing with the mass. And that's something that we'll look at. But, we think we'll do a good job with that and be able to manage both sides of of the aisle. Also, part of doing what we do is wanting to encourage, develop, and reach people. So there's that balance as well. If we're not able to be open to show movies, I don't feel like as a Christian I have the reach on employees and influence on employees and people. So it's just a balance that we have to learn, and we'll figure it out as we go forward.
And then someone asked if you're going to be having like advertisement, like can other companies do an advertisement during the previews? Would that, help with the financing? Would that help fill some of your time? Or is that something that the crowd just does not like?
No, actually they do like it. And it's something that we're working on. We're currently under development with a company that handles that.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be a link or something that we'll get out over the next week or two where people can advertise on the screen beforehand. Honestly, we get probably 10 or 15% of that revenue. The rest goes into development and the sales team that is a third party company. But that'll be available very soon, and that'll help fill some of the time gap.
Right.
Currently, people are showing up fairly early for a show, which is great. That's what we want because it gives us that buffer. But it can be a little quiet in a very stale environment. So we're working on those items. We may even develop a little short film about the Capitol or about Springfield that we'll show, stuff like that. So
That'd be cool.
everyone needs to be patient with us as we develop all these things. We're a weekend and really no experience in this industry, so it'll get better, I promise.
Definitely. And then Benjamin asked, what can we do as a community to support the theater besides going? We went and saw Toy Story, but now it feels like there's nothing we can do until the next movie comes out. So what can the community do to help you guys out? Because you guys are doing so much.
Yeah, and I'll address that question. There was a post a few days ago on Hip Springfield where someone that I don't know posted about supporting us. And it came across to some people that we were asking for, maybe charity or support. And for one, we're a for-profit business. I want everybody to know that. And we want the support. We love the love. We love the attention because it's good for our city and it's good for our theater. But, we are a for-profit. So keep that in mind. Support-wise is just continue to share our content. The more people that know about us, the more people that know how to purchase tickets and what movies are showing, the more eyeballs will attract the dollars. We've had a really good opening. We're 7 days in, and actually we're going on. Friday will be 14 days. Sorry, time has really caught up to me. But just share our content. When the movies come out that you want to support and want to see, come see it. Give us good reviews if we've earned them, stuff like that.
And one thing also that I can add to that for the community to help is I just posted the YouTube link on my Facebook page. And the reason why I did that is because that link stays current. I mean, on Facebook, after 30 days, a live link goes away. But I posted the YouTube link, which is going to have all this great information in it. So that would be a great link for you all to share. And that would help get the word out about the website and about, having patience and just all the exciting things that you have coming,
Yeah, and I think for us, positivity is great, right? It's good for the soul. And it's one of those where we are doing and we will do anything that makes sense, and we'll work with the community. We'll work with the comments, and we'll think through those. We're not doing anything flippantly. There was a thought about somebody made a comment about negotiations. Well, you need to negotiate a little bit better with your bookers. Well, trust me, we're doing everything we can do to work through those things to bring the biggest variety that we can. Some of the other things that you can do is just be kind and courteous as you come in. We have a lot of young first-time employees they've never worked in any business, much less a movie studio. So they're working through things and they're learning. And it's amazing the generation today, how shy and bashful they can be. I think social interaction is lacking. So, we're trying to develop those skills to communicate with the customers, be friendly, courteous, and really bring back that old time hospitality feel. That was our whole design. So,
I love the outfits, uniforms. They look great.
Yeah, we wanted to be very retro, those are times that people miss today. I'm a very modern person. I have modern technology. I'm driving an electric vehicle, but there's something about, 30, 40, 60 years ago where people interacted in a certain way that made people feel special. And that's what we're trying to develop. And that takes time. That's something that's most things are done over phone, over the internet now. So we're working through those. So be patient with the staff, be friendly. They're going to make mistakes. There's going to be things that pop up. But yeah, just, if there's an issue, everybody knows how to get a hold of me. I'll take care of that issue and make it right.
Well, those are all excellent points, because it is true that, to kind of bring back, manners and respect. And yeah, a lot of these kids, they grew up in an age when there was just electronics in their hands and electronics in their ears. And so they're probably going to take a little bit of time to, open up and to just really, be like their great-grandparents, But I do want to mention, this is a great time to tell people that there's a free class coming. It's called Life Skills for Teens. And it says, this class helps teens build confidence in everyday social and professional situations by learning skills such as introducing themselves, maintaining eye contact, active listening, basic etiquette, and such. This is for ages 12 through adult. And this is going to be on Wednesday, July 8th from 2 to 3 p.m. Over there in Crossroads. And so one of the staff of Crossroads is teaching that. Her name is Stacy Sides. And she was working some VBSs one day, and she said, our teens, it's just, how it is today. They haven't been around people a lot to learn some of this stuff. And so she offered to do this class for free. So I just want to throw that in there because that's a great segue.
Yeah, that was unplanned. But yeah, I think most people know I'm the varsity football coach at South Haven Christian
I was going to
School.
ask you if you still were.
Oh yeah, I love it. And
because you don't have enough to do.
Yeah. But it's a great opportunity as you coach football, as you work with teenagers, as you work in a Sunday school class, whatever those are, to teach these life skills. We preach it and teach it all the time. And I think a lot of teenagers are misunderstood. The vast majority of teenagers that we deal with at, the football team, in school, at the theater, they come across as being negative or being rude, and they're not. They just don't know. And so if we could use the Capital or other ventures to teach these life skills, man, it makes you feel good, and you feel like you've accomplished something.
All right, well, it's already 35 after, which means I do need to thank some people for making this show possible. So let's go ahead and thank UPS.
Our UPS store is the everything store. They've got you covered, of course, with packing and shipping and all the things you need to know that we all know UPS for. But they're also the store that you need to go to when it comes to printing. They have got you covered with all kinds of specialty printing. They have got everything you need if it's something unusual that you need to ship. They're notaries, every single one of them. I can't say enough about how that is just something that eases my mind. If I've got to get something notarized, I can just drop in there. They've got their own little self-serve kiosk now for all of your Amazon drop-offs that we've gotten so used to relying on them for. Our UPS store, the everything store, 513 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Springfield. You can give them a call, 615-384-0093, 615-384-0093, and find out all you need to know about the everything store. Check them out online for all the specifics. Sometimes they'll take a day off for a special holiday, but they have hours to serve you every single day. Let them know U-Turn sent you. If you've been wanting a chance to sit down and talk with Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, super simple. Just reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com, or by BUYRobertsonCounty.com, or call them 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or 7424. Or how about just stopping by Kilgore Park on July 3rd for the big Independence Day celebration. We're all going to be out there. They'll be there, and they'd love to answer your questions. Maybe you're wanting to get a free market analysis. Sometimes they have their computer with them, and they can do it right there. Whatever your needs are, whether it's buying or selling. Maybe you want to be a realtor. They would love to talk to you. Brandy Hastings is part of Exit Prime Realty now. But you can find out all about the listings they have or the process of selling your home. You can reach out to them anytime and get in touch with them, but they would love to see you again at Kilgore Park on July 3rd up in Cross Plains. I'll be there as well, and I hope you'll join us. But reach out today to Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy BUYRobertsonCounty.com. Give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and let them know U-Turn sent you.
All right, we're back in studio at WSGI Springfield, Tennessee for the morning show, One Street Over. This happens every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It is usually U-Turn Laverne, but she is taking a much-deserved break this week, so you got me all week, and I am so happy to be here because I get fabulous guests like Michael Crawley to come in, so that is awesome. And this is the biggest thing happening in Springfield probably this whole decade. No pressure. So we did have a few more questions that we probably wanted to address. Some people want to know basic information on ticket pricing. Go ahead.
Yeah, so on the ticket side, most of that, the majority of the ticket pricing is structured again from the studio. So Mr. Mickey Mouse is going to get his money. So there's a minimum that they want us to charge to show those movies. So a lot of it's based upon that. There's a potential as we do some retros that we could do some discounting, but that's not set in stone. So all of those things are all, again, contractual basis. That's not us setting a standard. Now, one of the things that we did fight for, and if you go to any of the other cinemas nearby in the region, we are lower cost than all those cinemas. So we wanted to make sure that we had a better value to stay in town. And really, we didn't want to deal with the negative comments about the pricing structure. So we fought for that discount price, and we are what most would consider a discount cinema as far as ticketing. So, if there's any questions on those, whether it's a matinee pricing or a show price, they can reach out to me. But those are pretty much set in stone by the studios.
Okay, very good. All right, we have a couple comments here that were kind of related. Let's see, Diana said, ever consider doing a senior night for those who attended in their youth, could reconnect and share memories? And then another comment was, baby boomers is a big population, don't forget about us.
Yeah, there's a lot of generations and different eras at this point. But yeah, I mean, those are all great ideas. We would love to fill the auditorium as much as possible. So senior nights, kids nights, date nights, any night you could think of, we're open to. We just got to figure out a way to make it work. And we'll put out more information, which was kind of what we started last night. Hey, if we do this, would you come? And, it's not a commitment or a guarantee, but we asked people if we send a poll out to give us what they think they would do, because it'll help us gauge what we can do. And so the more of those events, if we're able to pull off Friday night, it would be about 10, 15, 10, 20. If you can make it and you vote in the poll that you think you can make it, try to show up because it helps us in the future convince the studios that it would be a successful event.
And he's talking about this Friday, July 3rd.
Yeah. So those are the types of things that we'll do. Maybe the next couple of weeks we'll have some other opportunities coming, which we will, where we send that out. And if we get great feedback, we'll definitely do those things.
Well, when you were talking about different theme nights, I thought, it'd be fun if you did, like a Top Gun night or Elvis night and had, people dress up and have contests on stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever thought of anything like that.
Yeah, those are all,
my mind right now is like, oh.
Yeah, my mind's always racing with those. It comes down to execution, right? We got to be able to execute and plan. And those are just things that take time. There's some theaters out there that do a great job. We're going to be speaking with one, I think, tomorrow that's pretty local, that does a fabulous job of doing retros and themes. So those are learning curves that I'm working through with the staff. But we definitely have a lot of
fun
good
stuff planned.
Yeah, I mean, we're just at the tip of the iceberg on what we can do at the Capitol.
Yeah. So be patient because it takes a lot, and it's okay. Another question that came in says, how many handicap companion seats are there available, and can they accommodate a custom power wheelchair?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky question because I don't really know what the size of that wheelchair would be. The short answer is yes. I believe we can accommodate that. We have a few companion seats available. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but there's at least 2.
Okay.
And that's something that if we find that we're running short, we would definitely adjust and make more of those available. On that note, we've also received a lot more questions about other type of accessibility, like deaf or hard of hearing.
Oh,
And that's something that honestly I'd never really thought about until really last week when we started getting those questions. So I have reached out to the AV team to see what we can do to accommodate those types of situations as well.
no, that's a good point, especially with, I mean, it is true that the baby boomers, which those would be people born from 1964 through 46, and that is a fairly large population, and a lot of them, us, do have hearing issues. So that would definitely be something to
Yeah,
look at.
it's been one of those things. We learn something new every day. We learn more about what it takes to operate, and that's definitely on our radar.
All right, a couple other questions. Of course, everybody wants to know a little update on the drive-in.
Yeah, if I had $1 for every time I was asked about the drive-in, I'd
It's
be
okay. We
rich.
don't care how long it takes. Really, we don't.
Yeah,
We just want to see it.
yeah. So we're close. We're over 90% complete.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It's just the capital kind of jumped in the way and took up a lot of time, energy, effort. It's just one of those things where honestly we never had planned to do the Capitol Theater. It was this opportunity came and it felt like the right thing to do. We felt like we could make it special for the city and for the community, so we jumped on it, and it really did push back the drive-in. I would say we're realistically probably going to push opening even at completion to the spring.
Oh,
It
okay.
just feels like the right thing to do. As we learn the movie business and we learn how to be profitable and how to make things work. I know that's not what most people want to hear, but we've been kind of teasing out dates that we thought we could hit, and I'm kind of tired of doing that. So,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna say the spring. If for
So
some,
then if you deliver earlier, hey.
and to be honest with you, we're really not trying to deliver earlier at this point. We would like to get done sometime in the fall and just be ready.
This fall.
Yeah, get done this fall and then do a launch in the spring is the goal and the plan as of right now.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And then there was a random question, which I thought was fun. Amy said, ask him if he's interested in the old skating rink, too. Have you been asked that yet?
Yeah, I think the old skating rink is pretty well occupied with a pretty successful business at this time.
I don't even know what is there because it was there before I got to town.
Yeah, so the skating rink I think it has the STEM Center in it, I believe is the case, and some other businesses that lease office space there. And I was in there a few weeks ago, and they did a beautiful job with the restoration of that. But yeah, I don't think it's for sale.
Okay.
You
Well,
know-
maybe you might want to put up a skating rink. They're getting popular again.
Yeah,
You know?
it's kind of like everything else. What's old is new. But yeah, I mean, I think people that know us, if something's successful, I'll try to figure out a way to make it work. My mind's racing all the time about what we can do next. So I mean, honestly, it's one of those where if the cinema, the Capitol Theater is successful and the drive-in is successful, you won't see the last of us, right? We'll come back with some other ideas that we have, and we'll see where that road takes
You're
us.
making Springfield great again.
I don't know if it's great. I don't know if that's the word for it, but I mean, I definitely am a fan of things that can't be duplicated or replicated. Old things, those are things that that you can touch, that it's hard for other people to see or understand. So it's a special thing when you can do something that's unique.
I wonder where the nearest ice skating rink is. Do you know where the nearest?
Yeah, I have no connection to ice skating at all. So I don't know if
Well, you didn't have any connection to movies either, and look at you.
Well, I went to the movies as a kid, so I went to the drive-in with my family as a kid. And I went to the Capitol or Springfield Cinema at the time as a kid, so there was a little more connection.
Yeah.
I think I've been ice skating once, so I don't think that's on my radar.
Well, roller skating I know is big because my friend Julianne goes all the time. In fact, we went down to Brentwood because they were doing gospel night.
Okay.
And it was a big turnout. It really was. And I was so amazed at how popular. I did not realize that a lot of people are going, like Julianne goes multiple times a week to different skating rinks.
Wow.
And I had no idea. So that could be a cool retro thing to bring back for sure. All right. I only have 10 minutes left, and I got a couple other people to help to thank. But in the meantime, feel free to write comments still in the show section. We are live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And then also, guys, don't forget, WSGI has a phone app, which is wonderful, especially if you're driving along and you hear a song that you like. You just look at the app. Of course, you pull over first, and you can see who it is. And I love that. And by the way, T. Rawls, thank you so much for loading all the songs on our playlist. And T. Rawls has a concert coming July 2nd. Is that tomorrow? That is tomorrow. Thursday, tomorrow at Ebenezer Church in Greenbrier. The Mark Trammell Quartet is coming. If you have not seen them, you've got to go. It is so much fun. I think it's 16 and under are free. Everybody else, it's a $10 suggested donation. Well worth it. And thank you, Brother T, for bringing those cool groups to Robertson County. All right, let's see here. Let's hear from U-Turn Laverne.
Valor Mortgage is here to serve you and make sure that you get all of your loan questions answered, because buying a home is one of the biggest decisions you're ever going to make. Why would you want to have a lender that's going to just treat you like a number? And if you call those 1-800 numbers, that's what you're going to get. You want to work with your neighbors. Work with Chris Armentrout and the experienced loan officers at Valor Mortgage. Whether it be a VA loan, a VHA loan, they have every option you need to get you the loan you need right now. Conventional jumbo financing. They're going to get you to the closing table. They're not just in the business of mortgages. They're in the business of making home ownership possible. If it's your first home, if you're refined, if you just want investment opportunities, Valor Mortgage is ready to serve you. Give them a call, 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage to get pre-approved today. Because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence. Buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage. NMLS number 1210804. DBA of Encore Lending Group. NMLS 1249911. Equal housing lender. Subject to credit approval. Rates and terms subject to change without notice. Not a commitment to lend. Our UPS store is the everything store. They've got you covered, of course, with packing and shipping and all the things you need to know that we all know UPS for. But they're also the store that you need to go to when it comes to printing. They have got you covered with all kinds of specialty printing. They have got everything you need if it's something unusual that you need to ship. They're notaries, every single one of them. I can't say enough about how that is just something that eases my mind. If I've got to get something notarized, I can just drop in there. They've got their own little self-serve kiosk now for all of your Amazon drop-offs that we've gotten so used to relying on them for. Our UPS store, the everything store, 513 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Springfield. You can give them a call, 615-384-0093, 615-384-0093, and find out all you need to know about the everything store. Check them out online for all the specifics. Sometimes they'll take a day off or a special holiday, but they have hours to serve you every single day. Let them know U-Turn sent you.
All right, we are back in studio with Michael Crawley, the owner of Springfield Capitol Theater, where we are all so happy to have movies again right here in Springfield. And you have done such an amazing job with that building. I mean, just the aesthetics of it and everything is just, I think, breathed new life into everything. So we only have about 8 minutes left. So what else would you like to cover that we haven't hit yet?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a specific. I think one of the easiest topics would be the restoration and any questions you would have or you think your listeners would have on the process there, kind of what took place or what we did.
I know my husband was very happy that you, had taken off the sides and that you have the old, graphics coming through on the sides. And it just looks so cool.
Yeah, I think the color scheme on the facade actually turned out really well. I was nervous, and I think there were a lot of people that were nervous when we first started painting the colors or we're doing the stucco. I know there were some comments that it looked like an old Burger King back then, but I really think they all came together real well. The theme, and my wife really handled most of the design on it, was to take it back to a Art Deco style color feel, which is when it was in its heyday or when it was built in 1937. So I think we achieved that look, but it was a lot of risk. There's a lot of wood accent. There's a lot of gold. So, going with that retro color, made me nervous, but I think we were successful in pulling it off for sure.
Yeah, and it's just absolutely amazing. I can't wait to go see. I'm going to be seeing my full movie tomorrow, so I get to go into the last day that Toy Story. So yes, if you haven't seen Toy Story yet, y'all have today and tomorrow, right? Yeah. What are the times that they can go today and tomorrow?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot. Oh. I believe the best place is on our website, as I said. I think we have a 11, 1:30, and 6:30 show today.
Okay.
I believe it's the case. Okay. One of the things I think you asked me about the artwork on the walls. We did remove the curtains, or the curtains are actually removed. One of the challenges with removing the curtains is the sound quality. So we wanted to display the original artwork on the walls, so we repainted that, but it's the original artwork design. We freshened it up. But honestly, we spared no expense with the AV system to make sure that we could not put up the curtains. So there was a lot of design aspects going in, a lot of cost to make sure we could get the correct speakers at the correct angle, so we didn't get the feedback in the room. But we have world-class audio in there.
Very cool. Excellent. All right. So we only have about 5 minutes left, and I do want to just remind you that to stay tuned, because this is Wednesday, and once a week on a Wednesday, I come in and I do the Go Show, which that is all things Robertson County. Sometimes it's even into other counties. If it's a really cool thing, I want you to know about it. But there are so many things to do actually out there, so there's really no excuse to be home alone. And remember, one of my favorite things to say is call up a friend and say, hey, this is coming. I don't want to go by myself. Can I pick you up? Okay. And do that with the theater too, because there's probably still some people out there who have not seen Toy Story. And so you can do that. You can give them a call and say, hey, you know what? There's only 2 days left. And Minions is next, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know what's coming after Minions?
Yeah. Well,
or is that still a secret?
It's not a secret, but there may be a tweak to that. So,
okay. So we won't.
We have Minions for 14 days, and then we have a 14-day break, or a change that might happen, and then Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is one that when we release tickets, if they haven't been released already, you would want to get. We've had a lot of demand and a lot of questions about Spider-Man. So I think it's going to be a pretty large showing. All
right. So right now is Toy Story for another 2 days, and then Minions for 14 days. Was Toy Story here only 14 days?
Correct.
Wow. It seemed like longer.
Nope.
Okay. And then there's, after Minions, there'll be a 14 break of some other movie that is yet to be finalized. And then after that is Spider-Man, and I'm sure those are going to sell out, especially the peak times.
Yeah, Spider-Man is going to be huge.
Are there any particular times right now? Like, is it the earlier ones or less, populated?
Honestly, it's hit or miss. We're trying to learn and kind of reduce our ad shows as we need to. So it's just a learning curve. We thought maybe the 11 o'clocks were going to be a little slow. They've been pretty good. Sometimes the 1:30s are good. It varies. So I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason, but we're trying to dial that in to figure that out.
Okay. So y'all got to be patient, and I'm sure you still love when people send suggestions and comments and, ideas. Because, this family, unlike you guys have invested so much, besides, the drive-in, which I know is just an animal that, continued to change, and there were so many challenges with that. And you guys have just keep overcoming them, which is just amazing and wonderful. And we're all excited for the drive-in. And I'm not one of those people that is like, how come it's not open? I know that, onesie projects like that, so much can come up. We're just happy that it's coming. It's coming in our lifetime. And it sounds like it's even coming before this time next year. We will definitely have a drive-in. But for now, we have the beautiful Capitol Theater, and springfieldmovies.com is the website that you can go to see the times and to purchase tickets. And let's see. Oh, and then remember, guys, the staff is learning. Be patient with them. I'll be patient with everybody right now, guys. It's hot out there. It really is. And matter of fact, we're going to have in the second hour, emergency management services is going to come in, just kind of talk about all the heat stuff and heat stroke and also just safety around the 4th of July. So, people are tense right now with all the heating up outside, especially if you have a vehicle that doesn't have air conditioning. So be kind to one another and be kind to the staff. They're doing the best that they can. And we're just so happy to have you guys in Springfield. And I want to thank your whole family, because I know it's a family thing. It really is.
Yeah, and we appreciate the support, and you've always been a great supporter of ours and always welcoming us on the show. So that means a lot.
We have like a couple minutes left. Is there anything you want to else plug? Because I know you got some other places. It's a great time for a smoothie, huh?
Yes, I mean, yeah, for sure. We own the Tropical Smoothie Cafe here in Springfield. So, they're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So they have great food options, smoothie options, acai bowls, yogurt bowls, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a good way to get away from the heat and the humidity and go get a smoothie.
And that's another way that you can just support the family, right? So like the guy that was saying that, he already saw Toy Story, go to Tropical Smoothie for lunch today. How's that?
Yeah. So we also own in Springfield the Jets Pizza location and Iceberg Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Ah, yes. Is your air conditioner on the outs? You better call Iceberg.
Yeah, there
okay?
you go. So, but I appreciate you allowing us to plug those businesses there.
Well, I know it's not easy to even run one small business, so to run multiple and, especially ones that are just completely new ventures, that is amazing. So we appreciate you and your family very much. So we're going to end with a closing prayer, and then stay tuned, y'all, because the Go Show is coming up. I got a couple different guests coming in, and then tomorrow is Thursday. We have Mark Thomas coming in tomorrow, and I do want to tell you real quick about that. Mark Thomas is amazing. He is the one that led the country chorale for the Sunday morning country show that was at the Opry a couple weeks ago. And he's amazing. He teaches voice, he teaches piano, he also teaches songwriting, and he is actually coming to Springfield to do a songwriters workshop on July 11th, 5 p.m. to 6:30. That same night, I'll be doing a free line dance class at 7. And this will all be at Well in the Square, which is inside Crossroads Christian Bookstore at 600 South Main Street. So I hope you guys will come out to that. But tomorrow, on one street over, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we are going to have Mark Thomas in studio, and I believe he's bringing his electric piano to play a little bit and to get you excited about his songwriters workshop. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for one street over. And then Friday, we actually have Colonel Chris Orndorff coming in. He's going to be talking about George Washington, our founding, and God's divine hand on our country. So it's going to be a great week. It's also the first Friday, which I do want to remind you that there is no downtown Friday night market this Friday because it's Friday, July 3rd, and most people from that area are going to be going over to the Freedom Fest at the Travis Price Fairgrounds. Okay. So the 3rd is, but you're going to hear about a lot of those shows in the Go Show, so you can stay tuned for that. But yes, there is no First Friday market this Friday. But however, since it is First Friday, that means that I will also be doing a special edition Go Show at 8 a.m. And of course, it is Health Freedom Friday. So we're having Pat Samler come on. She is a homeopath, and she is going to be doing a free Discover Homeopathy class at Well in the Square. Same day, actually, as Mark, but hers is going to be in the daytime. I believe it starts at around noon. And she was going to be charging $15, which included the book. But she called and she said, the Lord spoke to me and said, let me offer this class for free. And so that's awesome. A great opportunity to hear about, natural remedies for things that can save you money and heartache. But right now, let's go ahead and do a closing prayer. I want to thank Michael Crawley one more time from Springfield Capitol Theater. Thank you so much, and God bless you guys. All right, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for taking the show where you wanted to go. We pray a special blessing right now on Michael and his family, on the theaters. May you just use all of this for the good of the kingdom. May everything we do and say glorify you. We love you. We praise you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right. Thank you so much, Michael. We will see you soon, and God bless.
Thank you.
All right. So as he makes his way out, I just want to remind you guys to please share this show. There is a fabulous YouTube link on my Facebook page. And remember that YouTube link stays up for a long time as opposed to the Facebook link. So please share that show because a lot of people had questions. And you can still put questions in the show links because he's going to continue to watch those. He always loves to hear feedback, especially when you have a new business like this. It's always good to be able to get feedback. So we hope that you guys will all do that. So thank you all. And I do want to thank everybody for sending me comments yesterday and questions to ask Michael, because I was really flabbergasted that so many questions and comments came in so quickly. So that is awesome. Thank you guys so much for supporting them. All right, guys, stay tuned for the Go Show. You're going to hear about a lot of places to go for this holiday weekend. And love y'all. God bless. You've been listening to 1100 WSGI.